Nah, look,
Kat,
I know.
Your stool needs to come down because you're like towering.
Hey, the boys need to be towed over.
Hey, Daz, check this out.
They
Look what I
actually
made.
do.
I made a whale.
How beautiful.
Yeah, my first one.
Well
Took me a
done.
fucking hour and a lot of rage.
A lot of rage.
Fuck! Oh, it's a whale.
Oh, I did it! I'm so amazing.
I know.
Yeah. All right.
This is not
Welcome,
a podcast,
guys.
by
I
the
didn't want to
way.
be in this.
This is a very, very relaxed podcast.
It's not a podcast. I'm on fucking YouTube.
Well, it might be a podcast if we can be bothered.
Wait.
But it
are those the
probably
people
won't be. It's
who are
going to be
watching
a
us?
podcast. Am I right? A podcast.
Yeah.
Today we have very, very special guests with us. These are our honorary members of Beauty News.
Or beauty dudes.
Or
Will be.
Can we register that in YouTube before someone takes it?
Wait,
Give it a go.
something I think we need to like literally fucking trademark.
Yeah.
Beauty News.
Yeah.
Inside joke.
Oh,
if you've been
Jamie,
watching,
let's trademark beauty news.
Oh, they would.
get fucked.
And then we will make all the money.
We
And
can have
then-
these videos where we destroy, make up things, made up things. We can make up things and destroy them.
And
Okay, welcome to our life, guys.
that's because that's what they do. But we're
As
gonna-
far as I understand, they make things up and they destroy them.
Okay, let's start this one again.
Can we
Wait,
start our
wait,
intro?
Ready? Dun,
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 dun.
dun, 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 dun,
First
dun,
question.
dun, dun.
Brent.
What?
Don't listen to these fuckers.
I don't know why they're in the middle. We should kick them out.
Hey, we wanted to be on the edge.
All right, guys. So we are doing a podcast about our Japan trip, and unfortunately, we brought these jokers along.
Oh,
so
my
we decided
Lord.
to include them. This is Jamie.
I don't write these jokers. Fuck off.
This is Jamie. This
Say
is
hello,
boyfriend.
Jamie.
Hello, Jamie.
This is boyfriend, better known as.
Hello, Jamie.
Well, actually, you know what?
Darren, better known as boyfriend.
Better known as boyfriend.
Yeah.
Boyfriend for Kat, boyfriend for Hailey. Not really boyfriend, but
Yeah, whatever.
Boyfriend
What
for
else?
Jamie.
And boyfriend for Jamie.
Best
Yeah.
friend.
Hey, you never know what
You
can
know what?
happen in life.
Except
what
for with
crazy
Russell Simon.
whirlwind you can life can
I
take
agree.
you.
I agree.
I'll
One
ask
step.
V for permission to call you boyfriend, and we'll be good.
Yeah, we'll
and
be
then
good.
it's boyfriend, 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 boyfriend.
So
Okay.
if you don't recognize these clowns, you haven't been watching our vlogs. We've got the crew from Beauty
Japan.
Dudes.
Beauty dudes.
Or-
maybe beauty nudes. Not really.
Wait, I need to look up if beauty dudes are a thing.
Yeah,
Well,
do
they
it.
are
You
now.
Google that. You
Okay,
Google
So
that.
my first question is to Jamie from Brenda 326. Has V ever said for Vendetta?
What?
You know what? This cunt. He's like, I'll just freeze up. The bastard won't shut up. He's worse than me.
That's actually pretty good.
Thank you.
I'm gonna ask her when I go home.
Thank Brenda for that.
Okay,
Brenda
we're not taking questions from fake people. We're talking about our trip to Japan. So we've had a few people.
Thanks, Brenda from Carnegie.
This is the part. This is the part where we tell the boys to shut the fuck up. And we let you guys know that we recently travelled to Japan as a group, and we've had people ask us questions about Japan, travelling in
Yep.
Japan. And I suppose our experiences,
Yep.
what we...
How annoying it was to deal with these clowns. I can tell
Can you
maximum-
guess?
Excuse me?
You
I
be
just want to
quiet.
confirm there's definitely no beauty dudes currently on YouTube.
Well, it's
Is
an
there beauty nudes?
Oh, alright.
Fuck.
Fuck me.
Actually, there probably is.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you
It'll,
were.
Google it, it'll come up as
Beauty
RedTube.
nude.
Yeah.
So today what we want to do is sit down as a group and discuss our experience traveling around Japan. Oh Jesus. that
Sexy
sounds
nudes
something.
there are.
Sex oh.
I just want a fresh tissue.
Okay, hold on. We've got it all out now. We're all
Have
good.
you?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Do you need any more outbursts?
No,
I'm
I
gonna
might
get some
laugh, but
olive
I'm
dip.
good.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Laughing will allow.
Oh,
Oh, God. For the record, I think this has been recording for something like 17 minutes and we can't use any of it. So thank you guys.
I just want to say this is probably the most fun I've had all day.
10 out of 10.
All week.
Cunts.
All week since Japan. Yeah.
All right, good.
Oh, good. We're
10
allowed.
out of 10. These cunts aren't coming on beauty news.
What?
What? How dare
You need to have some self-control. Laugh at the appropriate moment.
Hey, just because we don't.
making
Right.
jokes.
Look,
by
let us
the
know what you think in the comments below.
Not now, Jamie.
Okay,
At
I'm
the
sorry.
end.
All right,
At the end.
Okay, can I say it though?
You can say it.
You can.
Or like click, like, describe, or whatever.
You can do whatever
Fuck,
you want.
mate.
And
You
yeah,
can.
if we get to the end,
You just-
I will let you do that.
All right.
Absolutely. You will have your moment of fucking fame. But we need you to let us get through the intro first.
Oh, is this the intro still?
Yes!
I thought we were.
All right, break to intro.
Shit.
All right.
Okay,
I'm
so
ready.
we're going to be talking about our trip in Japan. Where did we go, guys?
All right.
Japan.
Well, you know what? He's not wrong. We started by landing in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And after Tokyo, we spent 2 nights there.
Yep.
We travelled to
Kyoto.
Kyoto with Ayami,
Yeah.
which was fantastic. So we had someone who spoke Japanese.
Yeah.
That was great.
We had a lot of food.
Oh, we did. And drank a lot of alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
And sang a lot of songs.
Oh, mate! The times, the
Karaoke.
good times.
That's good.
We will karaoke it up again. From Kyoto, we went to Osaka, which was great. That
Yeah.
was fabulous time. Osaka, after that, we head off to Hiroshima. And I think we were tired in
Yeah.
Hiroshima. That
Yeah.
was hard times. We were struggling. And then we went back to Tokyo
Yeah.
and we relaxed.
So that was our plan.
Yeah.
So we've been to Japan before.
These
and
two.
We have.
When?
Yeah. This cheeky
Disrupt you with
bastard.
every day of my life. Fuck
He's
you,
a
dude.
cheeky
Me
bastard.
too.
Every day.
Best friends forever!
Team. What did you guys think of Japan?
Me?
Yeah, you because
All
you
right.
guys have never been.
Oh
to
yeah, I've never been. Look, I loved it. I really loved it. I liked the culture. I liked the food. I liked the drink. I liked the shopping, and I liked being with my friends and
Yeah.
experiencing new things. I thought it was fantastic. I'd like to go back.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
you, Jamie?
Me, I would like to live there.
You loved it.
That's
how
You
much I
loved
like
it
it.
so much you would live
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you live there without us, or did we make it amazing?
100%.
Yes. I love you guys, right? I really do,
I
but
really
you know, so, a lot of pressure. No, yeah, I would. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, hate to be the devil's advocate, but I found that they weren't fair dinkum, hard battling Aussie battlers.
This
And that
fucker.
bothered me, you know?
Oh,
They're working there,
Wait,
taking
wait.
their jobs, living their Japanese lives, and it's not fair dinkum, mate.
Wait, are you talking about us?
Look, I don't know what he's talking about.
I think what he's trying to say is that the Japanese
A
They have
Japanese.
a different
are
lifestyle to us.
hardworking and take a lot of pride in what they do. Keep the streets
Excellent.
clean.
They do keep
They
the
really
streets
do.
clean.
There's no
don't
fucking
they?
rubbish bins, but there's
Mate.
no rubbish.
You know, but you know
It's
what
not
I
fair
love?
dinkum.
You
not
know
fair
what?
dinkum.
It's not fucking fair dinkum, especially if you lived in Australia. But I will say something I really respect about Japan. There's no rubbish bins anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I walked for like 25 minutes with a cigarette butt in my hand going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And there are no rubbish bins. And when you finally find one, it's almost like this fucking... It's like the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow.
Yeah.
However, nobody in Japan litters.
Yeah.
Nobody.
It's true.
They carry their litter with them.
Yeah.
And I think
It's
actually...
almost like they care about.
No,
their
they
city
do.
boundaries.
Like the
yeah.
environment they live in and keep it clean.
Something that I feel potentially, like, for me, I'm like, oh, they must really respect their fucking cities. They don't litter. But after I came home, I thought about it and I thought, I didn't see many Japanese people eating or drinking on the street.
Yeah,
we
they
actually
don't
had
really-
had a comment about that, saying that most people in Japan don't. Whose phone was that? Anyway, most
Darren's.
people don't eat or drink in public in Japan.
Right.
So it's not like a dumb
Yeah,
thing
and
that
you
they
just-
take their they don't sit on a train eating a burger, which a lot of people in Australia potentially do.
Yeah.
They kind of take their food home or sit at a restaurant and eat and then move on.
After that.
But there's so many vending machines, so you'd think they'd drink.
Yeah, I think that's
And you
what-
can drink in the street too.
Yeah.
That's actually, mate, fucking hell. I reckon we need to bring that law in.
You can drink in the streets.
Can you,
but that's the thing. I think
Not
that
in
here.
most places, no.
Some councils you can't, but most you can.
Here.
If you walk down Brunswick Street, you can drink.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go! Fuck the podcast!
You can drink in the
Wow,
street.
really?
no, but the bigger issue
I
is
You
assumed
can drink
it
in the
was just-
park. It's no problem.
I
It's on
assumed it
public
was-
transport. You can't.
No, you definitely can't on public
But
transport.
that's about it.
You can't in the CBD. So I just assumed...
Some places you can't. Most places you can drink in the street.
Interesting.
Yeah,
See?
it's not-
I know nothing
Really?
about
I
my
don't-
own
I-
fucking
Yeah, you
city.
can. Most
Okay.
places you can drink in the street.
Hey. Okay, I'll do it.
Can you buy
Once.
cheap alcohol from like 7-Eleven?
No.
No.
That's true.
Actually, let's discuss that.
Yeah.
Because I feel in Australia you can only buy alcohol from licensed venues, which I assume is exactly the same in Japan, but 7-Eleven isn't licensed
Yeah,
in
it's
Melbourne.
usually-
No. It's like,
Or
are you
Australian.
20? Yes.
yeah.
On the screen.
Yeah.
Done.
Much, yeah.
Solved.
Like,
yeah, but also this bottle of whiskey cost $15
Yeah.
Australian. In Australia, this same bottle will cost about $60.
yeah.
Yeah. It's,
And that was from 7-Eleven as well. So.
It's interesting. We, in Australia, our alcohol is taxed very heavily.
yeah.
And for a reason, because we have, like, drinking
I
issues.
was working in a bottle shop in, I don't know how long ago, when the
the taxes.
taxes were applied.
Yeah.
And I got abused as if it was me
Yeah. I know,
increasing the
people are
prices.
ridiculous.
I'm like, dude, I have to pay the same fucking tax that
Yeah.
you do. I was
Yeah.
like, whatever.
Yeah, it's
It's like,
interesting.
it's not going in my pocket, buddy. Like, I'm going to find
But I thought you
But
told
I-
me that you'd been pocketing all the extra
Oh,
the
this-
taxes.
Look,
Cheeky fucker.
look, I was like 18.
Yeah.
20. I
He
don't
wasn't
know.
that smart to do it.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's
Hello,
Tax-
mister.
Something that I found interesting about the drinking culture, or the ability to buy alcohol freely in Japan, was you rarely saw a drunk person on the street.
But I never got drunk.
No,
I wasn't drunk the whole 2 weeks.
and that's the interesting thing. I feel like the alcohol volume, like, I'm not sure what that whiskey is, but the volume of the alcohol is quite low. So you'll go into a 7-Eleven and you can buy a standard beer, and I mean, they're big. They'll get you tipsy. And if you buy 3 or 4
I have
and
a
drink them in a row,
theory.
you'll get shit-faced. I know your theory.
My
we'll
theory-
discuss it. We'll discuss it.
All right.
However, they also sell a lot of, like, fresh alcohol where it's like a pre-mixed drink, and they're only like 4%. So you can drink those fuckers for breakfast, which I did several times in Osaka, and they'll give you a very slight buzz.
Yeah.
It's almost like a great coffee.
What's your theory?
Well, when you go on holiday,
Oh, I know this theory.
yeah, when you go on holiday, you have like this, what would you call it? Like an invisibility cloak. Like you can go without sleep. You can drink a lot and eat like shit. For, I reckon, we pushed it for about, 11 to 12 days. And in
And
the
then
last
we
2
literally
days,
crashed.
we just crashed. I reckon when you're on holiday, your body is just like, it just kicks into this state where it protects you from all the shit that you're putting into it. And then there's a point where it's like, I'm out.
See,
I'm
Done.
I don't agree with that because I personally didn't feel invincible, but I also probably Hailey and I were the only two people that didn't feel sick at the end or afterwards. You got sick after you got back.
Yeah,
All
I
three
really
of
just got.
And the boys all crashed and didn't feel well, whereas we were fine. I
In
think
Tokyo at the end, they're all like, "Aren't your guts fucked? Like,
We're
don't
like,
you
"Nah,
feel sick?"
we're fine."
I'm like, "Mate,
they're
I'm
good.
ready to party."
Yeah,
But did you put your body through hell?
no, but you didn't either. So
I drank alcohol. Jamie.
What?
Jamie,
No.
We
I drank
went.
alcohol for breakfast.
Yeah. When you
So-
guys were off
I-
eating pancakes, we were drinking alcohol from the fridge.
I know. We were doing live chats with Hailey drunk.
Yeah.
don't.
No, I think the difference is I do
Fuck
think the
off.
alcohol is a different form of alcohol and potentially isn't as like either strong or
Yeah.
hangover.
I
strong.
want to look something that I felt like I noticed, and this might be wrong. I don't know, but I'm the type of person. I get a lot of migraines when it comes to like preservatives and additives and weird
Yeah.
shit like that. And when I was in Japan, I felt like I could literally drink all day long.
Yeah,
It didn't affect me.
yeah. I think it's a cleaner type.
Honestly,
of alcohol.
I think it's cleaner,
Yeah.
and I think it comes down to like preservatives and additives because I'm sensitive to that.
Yeah.
And I respond to it quickly. Like I can have one glass
yeah,
and I'm like, nah, I'm done. I'm getting a migraine. I got to go home.
yeah.
I've got to take painkillers. Never did I experience that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think
And
it's a different form of
that-
alcohol.
That's why I feel like the alcohol is cleaner
I agree.
and better. And
And I never had a hangover, and I get hangovers after a couple of beers.
yeah.
We've had
I'm
a
the
few
same.
people ask questions like, if you go to Japan as English speakers and you don't speak Japanese, do you need someone who speaks Japanese to be with you, or are you okay on your own?
Well, it definitely helps
It helps.
a lot.
There are perks to it. So we had someone who was from Tokyo. She kind of hung out with us while the first day we were in Tokyo and then also in Kyoto. And it definitely does help because we could get into places that we normally wouldn't know about. So places that,
So having a local, right?
yeah, it's like
yeah.
taking you to a local cool place or something that...
Very traditional places too.
Yeah,
where-
and the places that locals visit and socialise at
Yeah.
that might not have like English writing on
Yeah.
it that would entice you to come in. So I do think that definitely it helps, but I don't think you need it in Japan.
No, you don't. Yeah, it's not
You can
necessary.
survive
It's
without
not like
it.
yeah.
It's only if you go off the
Beaten
beaten
path,
path
yeah.
that
I
that it's a
remember in Kyoto.
Yeah.
No, it was. I think it might have been actually Tokyo.
Yeah,
Ayami took us to a place and we went in. They didn't speak a lick of English. They had the traditional barrels up
Yeah.
on the wall.
yeah,
and
that was in Tokyo.
it was like our second night or
Yeah.
something. And one of the guys that worked there actually came back and he was like trying to explain to us
How to drink the sake.
how to
yeah.
drink the sake out of the little like traditional wooden boxes. And he was like, you know,
Remove your lips.
yeah,
do,
he
do
was
this,
talking.
do that. Yeah.
He was talking to Ayami in Japanese, so you know she could communicate it to us. But he was also being very respectful in the fact that he was looking at us
Yeah.
as human beings and being like, you know, trying to let us know
Yeah.
what he was saying. And I loved that because I felt like, okay, he can't communicate with us legitimately in like a full-on like
Yeah.
communication way, but he's trying to get his point across to us. And he's very lucky that he has someone who speaks Japanese who can
But I
let
think
us know.
we wouldn't have walked into that place, or if we
No,
did, we would
and
have
that's-
walked straight out.
We would have struggled. And
Yeah.
I feel like if you have someone who speaks Japanese and who can help you through that, you're going to have
A better time. Yeah.
But you won't completely lose out on experiences without it.
No, definitely
I
not.
feel like if you are in Japan and you don't speak any Japanese and you only know the basics like hello and thank you and all that stuff, are places that you will walk into that are very traditional, where they will try to help, like,
communicate
cross the barrier of, like, the language barrier.
But everywhere we went, even places where they literally did not speak any Japanese, they were always super friendly and...
And I think, actually, that's something that I think Japan has fucking above anywhere I've been in the world. I travelled Europe, and these...
Really?
Yeah.
You?
Don't be so shocked!
Europe!
No!
Hey,
fuck
let
off.
her say a point.
Japan really has customer service and friendliness.
I've been to Europe. She
Fucking-
wasn't there.
Get fucked. I've been to Europe and you wasn't there, motherfucker.
Hey,
wasn't
I
there.
was there.
I've been to all of the Europe.
These cheeky
I
bastards.
swear to God, I'm going to retire and go to bed because these
Yeah, I
fuckers
know.
are
No,
impossible.
seriously. Japan really has customer service.
Yeah,
Fucking,
they
it's-
do. They've got
yeah,
a
they
really
do.
respectful culture, and they really try to
They do.
help tourists and just anyone in general. But I do think, like, if you don't have anyone that speaks Japanese with you, there's enough, like, at train stations and stuff, there's, like, generally Japanese writing, Korean writing, and English writing.
Yeah.
So generally you can find your way through places. You can always find restaurants that have signs that might have, like, an English menu. You can definitely get by, but will you, like... You could probably get a better experience if you're with locals, but that's just
Absolutely.
like a given.
Darren and like me, Darren and Simon, we were in Hiroshima. Went to I don't know, some place that they didn't speak any English, and I don't know what we ordered, but it wasn't until a guy came in halfway through as a customer that the person who was working behind the bar, who also was the cook, I assume he's the owner as well, said, he knows some English. And then we were able to kind of converse and work out what was going on. But up until then, we had no way of communicating with him. And it was still a really great experience.
Yeah.
And we knew that we were in a local and not a tourist area. And that was probably one of the highlights of the trip, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're all very nice and they're willing to try to make it work. Whereas I think a lot of places you can go to, they almost have like a... I don't know, like
You're a foreigner, I can't be bothered. I know that sounds really terrible, but
places do have that.
There was
kind
a
of
few
vibe.
places like in Europe where they were like, I can't be bothered with this, and you could really tell from there, like you'd be like you'd point, and they're like, they don't speak the language, and you could instantly feel the wall that was like,
but I know Australians do that as well. If you don't speak
do.
English, sorry, don't come to my country if you don't know how to speak English. It's the same kind of thing, but in Japan, they
try. They really do.
Yeah.
And even if they're like, you'll say something in English and they'll say something in Japanese and you're both like,
I don't know.
But they will try. They will do their absolute best to work with you and make it work. And I fucking love that because it means that when you go there, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like you can work it out.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be worried about. You might have a few minutes when you're in a shop or a restaurant or whatever, and you're having a few minutes where you're like trying to work it out, but eventually you'll get there.
Yeah, or someone can help you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that about Japan. How about we talk about the JR pass?
Get it.
Yeah.
Buy it. Done. Next.
Yeah, we've had a
kid's
few
not
people
wrong.
ask if it's worth the money because JR passes are for the JR Rail or the Japan Rail.
I think it depends on probably, are you traveling around Japan or are you staying in one location?
I agree because essentially they're not cheap and you can only buy them as a tourist. So you buy them before you leave and like they have different like companies that sell them and they're really expensive. So for 2 weeks it was about $560.
I think it was 700.
No, it was
No,
500.
No.
it's about 535, I think.
Okay, something like that.
535.
500 and something.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, fuck man, is that like worth the money? But if you're going to stay in one city, like if you're going for a week, like that's for a 2 week pass.
Yeah.
If you're going to go for a week and you're just staying in Tokyo, don't get it because it's too expensive. But if
that's only if you're traveling on the local train lines. If you're in Tokyo for a week and every single day you're making a trip to
but if you're staying in Tokyo,
if you're only in Tokyo and only using the local train lines, don't do it.
Yeah, but if you are going to travel to other cities, it is totally worth it.
Yeah,
like our
definitely.
friend was buying a pass to Kyoto from
Tokyo,
and it was like 200 and something bucks.
Yeah.
Just like the return ticket. So you will, if you go to a few cities, you'll get your money's worth.
Yeah.
It is a much more economical way to travel if you are going to take the bullet trains. But if you are going to just stay in Tokyo, it's not worth it. But even then, the train from the airport to Tokyo, if you take the express, it's like nearly $40.
Yeah.
And that's covered with the JR pass. So, you know, the train line, unless you're getting the local daily ticket or you can go from like put in one station to another station, it might cost you like $2. You know, if you're just staying in one area, that's a better way to do it. But if you are going to go outside a city, JR Pass is definitely worth it. And they're not available to locals because it's such a good deal.
Good deal.
And you got to get it before you leave Australia.
Yeah, you have to get
Make
it
sure you
before.
give yourself a couple of weeks.
Yeah, don't be like traveling to Japan and trying to buy it in Japan. You can't get it.
Yeah.
It's not available to you.
If you order it and then you say you're going to pick it up, it's a couple of days, but make sure you give yourself a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you need, If you're going to order a JR Pass, make sure you do it in advance.
Yeah.
Don't fuck around. You'll screw up your trip.
Can I also say one thing that we didn't go to in Tokyo, but we went to when we first went, was the Ghibli Museum. That is, once again, they kind of sell tickets in advance and they sell them in lots of, I think, 3 months. And they tend to sell out pretty quickly. So if you are going to Japan and you're really keen on going to the Ghibli Museum, you have to buy your tickets like 3 months in advance. We luckily went 4 years ago when it wasn't like a big thing, so we easily got tickets. But when we looked at it for this trip, it was just like, you can start buying tickets, I think it was like the 1st of June for September.
No.
And it was just like, no. So there are things you have to book in advance when you go to Japan.
Absolutely. Something else that...
Wait.
What's
that?
That's
a beautiful paste.
Nah,
it's fucking delicious.
It's good with cheese. Jamie, give it a go.
I'm so disappointed, but I want to tell you that it's actually really good. Something else, I feel like there's something, when I was planning like, we're going to Japan, I'm like, I want to see our museum.
You went to Japan?
Shut up. Not our museum, our cafe.
Who?
And everyone was like, you gotta book. You don't need to fucking book. They're in every goddamn city.
Yeah.
And you don't need
They really are. I didn't go, but they're fucking everywhere.
You walk up and you just...
They're everywhere. You walk up. You might have to wait a minute. They're expensive. They're cute.
And chained.
No. Well, we never went to an Owl Cafe.
We didn't. I didn't go.
We went to a hedgehog cafe. They're not chained.
They're spiky though.
Can I be controversial?
Yes.
I know for a fact that hedgehogs don't have super long lifespans and they actually need very specific living conditions.
What about Sonic the Hedgehog? He's been alive for like 20 years. He's a piece of shit.
He's way longer than 20 years.
He's lived past his prime. He's a piece of shit. All his games in the last 20 years.
But there were some hedgehogs.
Why is he collecting coins? It doesn't make any sense.
It's rings. What does a hedgehog have to do with rings?
I can sell them.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
You know what? I don't hate this one. It just comes out with it.
I'm just going to say don't comment, but like and subscribe.
No, if you know why Sonic, a hedgehog, collects gold rings.
Don't do it, Darren.
And why is he fighting a dude who's bald with a mustache?
This is the...
Does he have a mustache?
Jamie.
Yeah, what? Dr. Robotnik.
This is the internet. Don't ask those questions.
Don't ask any questions.
You'll regret it.
Look, we'd love to see your comments. Just comment below. No, is that how it works? That's not how it works.
Okay, we'll
Just
superimpose something right here.
When these cunts are being like...
You're going to cut this out. We know it.
I'm just
gonna cut that shit
We're
out.
totally editing out this.
Yeah.
All our hilarious
We're
bits.
not in the video at all.
Yeah.
It's like Cat and Hailey are in the middle
Oh,
of
I
the desk.
will. Oh, I will. Oh, I will. And they'll be like, where did the microphone and
We're like,
cheese
we
go?
were in there.
And it's like
Cactuses.
it's like a 40-second video. It's like, hey, we went to Japan. Well, that's all the time we have.
Tempted. Fuck, man.
Anyway, alright, big controversial, hedgehogs die
While I have a mouthful
and collect
of
gold
food.
coins.
Hang on.
And they're blue, by the way. And they befriend foxes with
They
multiple
do.
tails.
And Knuckles, also
Oh.
known as echidnas.
Do love those fucking
The-
foxes.
He's not an echidna.
Knuckles is an echidna.
Isn't Knuckles the... Wait, really?
Knuckles is the echidna.
I thought Knuckles was the fox.
No, Tails. That's miles,
That's why it's multiple
tails
tails.
per hour.
Yeah.
I think the thing to be aware of with the like
Is he an echidna?
animal cafes
I have no idea.
is
Not
that the animals are well looked after, but a lot of them are also for sale.
Yeah, they're
And
all
that-
for sale.
That
They're
sounds
all-
delicious.
yeah. And
really. We ate a lot of animals.
like,
Just...
yes, Jamie, are you alright? Are you coping with that? I think he's got like PTSD. I think like the animals are for sale, and we went to a hedgehog cafe, and some of them seemed great and okay, and there was one in our little bowl that I was concerned about.
What was the sample population? Was
you-
it like 10 echidnas and one was feeling shitty?
Well,
Because
there was four.
Oh, it's-
There was four, and one was not non-responsive. I don't want to make it sound like it was dead.
I thought it was just asleep.
Yeah, it could have been the
I felt like the others were also asleep, and when we picked them up, they responded in the same way, and this one didn't.
I think I picked up 2 out of the 4.
But these are animals with short lifespans that don't respond well to
How long's short?
like 4
3
or 5
inches?
years, I think.
That's pretty decent.
Well,
They don't have to get jobs and pay taxes and have
fuck, man.
kids,
No,
get
true,
married,
true,
get
true.
cancer.
Hey, I love paying
They just have
taxes,
to be picked
alright?
up by
Gives,
strangers all day.
all the
You want to
social
pay taxes?
security,
Yeah, you need to like stuff.
Hey, shut the fuck
The
up.
roads.
Yeah.
The animal cafes, they're interesting, they're fun. It's a good way to see like different animals. There's nowhere in Australia you can fucking go to an owl cafe or a fucking hedgehog cafe or a cat cafe.
We have a cat cafe.
We have 2 cat cafes.
Well, I've never heard of them, so they are not important.
No, but like
There was a rodent cafe in fucking Osaka, I remember.
I've been to a cafe with rodents.
that was
in
just
it.
an alley. You were really
Well-
drunk walking down an alley, and you're like,
No.
"What is this rodent cafe? They don't even serve drinks here." And we're like, "Hailey, you're just down an alley.
All right,
please
let's
come
stop
out of that
talking
dark alley."
Absolute gibberish. Do you know how much shit I'm going to cut out of this one?
But that's why you invited us on, right? For the comic relief.
No.
And recounting the stories that you want to censor.
Okay, let's
Like-
say let's go through. Okay, so
Okay.
we agreed that you can definitely travel if you don't know Japanese, but definitely learn hello, thank you, and a few things like that.
Absolutely.
JR Pass is great if you're traveling outside of
JR Pass.
a city.
Yes.
By train.
By train.
Yeah.
What are our highlights of Tokyo?
Shopping.
Like
Shopping?
what are they called?
Karaoke
maid
bars?
cafes.
We never went to a
Uh,
cafe.
You
Girlfriend
didn't go?
experience.
You
You
didn't
guys
go
never
any
went
of
to these
them.
things. I had time to myself. So maid cafes.
This motherfucker's a liar.
Yeah, don't listen to this piece of shit. We're gonna
I only
kick him out.
lied to you guys so I could get to the maid cafes.
Well, Darren, I was all for the maid cafe. I'm disappointed you didn't take us.
Yeah.
All right. Did you guys enjoy the food in Japan?
Because we could do this podcast ourselves, Hailey.
The food was great for a short term, but a lot of the vegetables are pickled, so I don't know.
Yeah. If
At least-
you try to live a balanced lifestyle where you're
That
having
we're
like,
used to.
But that's
Me-
also
we-
eating out every goddamn night.
Yeah.
I
for-
think
for
I
2
think in
weeks.
Australia we have a very balanced lifestyle where it's like meat and veg or fish and veg or
Veg
potentially
and carbs or meat and veg and carbs. Yeah.
So
Carbs
I
and
think-
carbs.
I think it's hard because actually, something I want to point out is not much rice in Japan.
Hey, that was my major.
Yeah.
I was like, I love rice. It's my favorite
Jamie
meal.
was like, where's the rice? I think I saw you eat rice once.
And you had to order it as a side.
I feel like you guys are being super racist here, assuming that all Asians are rice.
No, white rice is my actual favorite meal of all time.
The thing with the vegetables was, I felt like it was a lot of, when it came to fresh vegetables, a lot of shredded cabbage, shredded carrot, and some sort of like nice dressing, like
But yeah, it was all
dressing.
It was either like shredded cabbage or pickled vegetables.
Oh yeah,
and
pickled vegetables are insane. Like,
and if you want to buy fresh produce, it's really expensive. So I did find that it was quite like I was over the carbs and carbs and carbs and carbs. Because I'm used to eating a lot more vegetables than they had to offer.
I didn't get that many carbs. What carbs?
But because you were eating just fucking straight out meat.
But what carbs were you
Meat
eating?
is
Well, I don't
Jamie,
eat
you
meat,
bit
so I was
directly into a
eating.
cow.
I was eating a lot more carbs than you.
Yeah.
So I just
noodles and stuff
noodles
like that.
and fucking whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I was eating.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I ate a lot of meat,
Yeah.
a lot of pickled things. I think
A lot of pancakes.
Yeah, a lot of fucking pancakes.
You and Simon, fucking pancakes.
Yeah, but
Every
fucking
morning.
I don't want a fucking heavy breakfast. I want something that's like light and fluffy.
Like light,
pancakes.
round, thin,
Like little pillows.
like some sort of disc shape. That's all I want.
This smart ass.
I know. I'm going to kick him out of the bed tonight.
I do think that the food is different. The food is different. Be very prepared for
But can I ask
a
you a
change
question?
in diet.
Was it as you expected? Because Japanese food in Australia is very different to Japanese food in Japan.
I can 110% say without any thought behind it, no.
Yeah.
The food was not what I expected. This is going to sound fucking ridiculous. I expected sushi and nah, it's not.
No, I agree.
Sushi is actually like
Hard to
you have
find.
to go searching for it. And the interesting thing about sushi in Japan is you can only get it in places where people actually know what the fuck they're doing.
Like proper restaurants and stuff.
You can't just... I'm sure there are places in Japan where you can get it that's like quick and fast and all that stuff.
I don't think there is.
There's not many.
I'm
It's
sure
not really a thing
But
there.
we were in Japan like 4 years ago that we saw one.
Yeah.
And that's 4 weeks in total in Japan. We've seen one place.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure they exist,
but it's
but
not
they
common.
are not common. In Australia, you've got like sushi chain restaurants everywhere.
Yeah.
And I gotta say,
It's because
like,
that's what's popular. At the
yeah,
moment,
people are
really.
like, sushi's healthy. And I'm like, oh my God, like soggy seaweed, I don't want it. But it's really popular here. But in Japan, it's something that's considered like, it's an art form.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it.
But you can get some pretty ace sandwiches.
Oh, mate! Fuck. You know where you can get ace sandwiches? Where can you get ace sandwiches?
7-Eleven!
Yes!
Yeah,
Fuck,
they're pretty
man.
good.
They make the best fucking
Yeah.
sandwiches.
Some
in
good
7-Eleven.
iced coffees too.
Yeah.
I think if
Oh my God.
you...
Actually, can I ask you boys, what was your favourite 7-Eleven snack?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beer?
definitely beer.
Highball?
Highball?
No, I'm definitely Kieran. Yeah. Highball was alright, but yeah.
Kieran?
Kieran, big fucker.
How about actual food?
Well, okay, so I eat a lot of fruit normally,
Yes.
and I found, like you said, fresh produce really fucking expensive, and also hard to come by anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
I ate a lot of frozen blueberries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I would buy a packet of frozen blueberries from 7-Eleven and keep them in the freezer.
Yeah.
And I would eat that in the morning.
I saw them a few times in the fridge and I was like...
Yeah. Bought them every day, yeah. Because I'm just like...
blueberries.
I'm like, well... Because they had like lots of other frozen fruit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, it was cheap and blueberries are really good. So.
Yeah, blueberries are delicious.
Yeah.
And that's fair enough.
So yeah,
But
just
I
keep that in
know,
mind,
like,
I guess, if you...
How much did you pay for a banana? Because I know you bought bananas.
Yeah, blueberries and bananas. Bananas were like... It was like 120 yen for a banana. What's
All right,
that? Like
so that's like...
$1.50.
$1.50?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes all sealed in plastic and...
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I know that fresh fruit in Japan is very expensive. We saw
Grapes.
a bunch of
$30.
grapes.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about like X amount for 1 kilo. We're talking like a bunch of grapes, and they're like perfectly manicured. They look like something out of a magazine.
Yeah.
And they're like...
I'm sure they would have tasted
$35 or
amazing
something.
though.
Yeah.
I actually, that market that
Yeah.
that you're referring to, I bought a punnet
you
of
did.
orange.
You did,
I don't know.
and I tried it. That was actually...
Yeah,
that
it was like you'd cut up orange or something. It was fucking awesome.
That was delicious.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
nice. I'm like, this is an orange, but it could also be because I hadn't had fresh fruit for a long
That's true.
time.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
Yeah, I
It was
will
really
say
nice,
fresh fruit in Japan is very expensive, potentially difficult to find if you don't know where to
But
find a market.
if you wanna keep scurvy at bay,
You're
at
gonna-
least have some fruit.
yeah, you're gonna need that citrus.
Okay, so I'd say for Tokyo, we liked the kind of like the nightlife and just
Yes,
like
nightlife's
especially the
great.
first time we were there, we went to like karaoke, we went to bars and all
Yeah,
that
that
kind of
was
stuff.
fun.
What did you like about Kyoto? Because we spent 2 nights in Kyoto,
We did.
and that's where the market was you were talking about.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did like the market. I found that very interesting.
What happened in
Honestly-
Kyoto? What did we do in
We
Kyoto?
went to
the
that
park,
all-you-can-eat
we went to
place.
that Golden Temple.
Yeah.
Yes.
We went to where that those kind of
the gates.
Yeah, those
and
gates
Yeah.
are.
Cats
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
And the deer.
Yeah.
And the deer was in
All
Nara.
Oh, the deer was pretty cool. Like
I-
when we first got there, I was like,
I'm
wow.
going to be honest and say my favourite thing about Kyoto was going to see the deer
Yeah, in Nara.
in Nara, and then going to the gates.
Yeah, I like the gates.
However, the thing that made me like the gates was actually the cats.
No, see, I liked the gates, and I kind of wish we got there earlier because
Yeah.
we had dinner
To go all the way to the
reservations
top?
to go all the way to
Yeah.
the top.
Yeah.
Because I reckon that would have been really cool.
It kinda sucked
Apparently
a bit,
there was
yeah.
like a
Yeah.
wild boar up the top.
Yeah.
I would have loved to seen them. But apparently it's a very long walk, and I feel like that's
Really long.
not...
Yeah.
Something that annoyed me about that was we researched it and we were like, we want to go there because that's like a place to see. It's the only place in the fucking world that you can see that. We must go because we're in the vicinity. But it's not vocalized very clearly that if you want to go there and you want to get to the top and see all of it and come back down, allow a day.
Yeah, because
That-
most people wouldn't care
Yeah.
about going to the top.
And that's what annoyed me because I feel like the experience is doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
And to me, like, that's almost like saying, I don't know, go somewhere and it's almost like saying go to Universal Studios and pay to get in the door, spend an hour and then leave. Like
Yeah.
go on one ride and leave.
But
like,
I don't agree though, because I think like you can see what you need to see, and it's an interesting place to go to, and you can see like even just walking beyond those 2 kind of joint main
Yeah,
gates,
yeah.
you can see enough that you
Yeah.
need to see if you just want to see it.
Yeah.
If you want to go for a hike, it's a different story, and you do
But-
need like a couple of hours.
the thing is, like,
just a shame that
but
we didn't get to do
what's-
that.
Like, the thing is, when you get past those 2, like, split gates and then
Yeah.
they rejoin, we saw some pretty cool stuff out
Yeah.
of that. But then I also wonder, well, what's after the next spot? Like, did we
Yeah.
miss something? Like,
Well, potentially, but we didn't have
Yeah.
time to check it out.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what annoys me. I wish people would be more vocal about
Well,
allow
use the chance.
8 hours to...
It's not that long. We were only there for an hour or something, but you would need a few hours.
But I'm saying, like, allow 8 hours to walk to the top and explore everything in between and come back. So then you know I need a day to go there.
I still think you probably only need a few hours. We were only there for an hour, and we really we didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
But you'd need a
we
couple
didn't
of
really
hours.
see much
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But I did like it. I thought it was a good spot to go to, and it's quite unique as well. So I think it's definitely worth going to. I liked Nara, but Nara's like a different story, like because Nara's a different
Nara's
town.
completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nara's near Kyoto, but it's completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
the deer were cool for about 20 minutes, and then I was pretty much done.
That's
Like,
over.
I really,
That's fair enough.
no, I like the
Once you
deer.
get the nodding thing.
Yeah, I really liked the
Yeah.
deer, and I liked how they were like just kind of around, all like interacting with everyone, and they were just there. But I think what really made it was when we walked through and we saw the I can't remember what it's called, but that really massive
Wooden thing, yeah.
Muscle Simon?
Yeah. The
Muscle Simon
they
next to the
were-
temple. Yeah.
I don't know what the official term would be,
Yeah.
but they'd be like, I don't know, some sort of like fucking.
It was the second
like-
largest wooden structure in the world. The
they're-
temple.
Yeah. It's a. I assume it's a temple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think, like, for me, like, the two aspects of Japan I really liked was the history. Because I guess in Australia, we just aren't, in terms of the length of time, we don't have the same amount of history. So it's really interesting to see things that are more than sort of 300-400 years old. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And the other part would be the nightlife for me. So I really enjoyed the deer. I thought it was awesome. But I think that, yeah, I really got a lot out of the temples and just seeing, like, this thing was built so long ago.
Yeah. There was something that sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. If you have something else to say, go
It's
ahead.
alright, Hailey. You know what? You go ahead. It's your
All
channel.
right.
You do what you want.
It's not my channel. We share the channel. Something
Really?
that actually.
All right, beauty dudes.
Something that really disappointed me, actually. We were at the Golden Temple, and fuck, man, that place is beautiful. Like,
Yeah, it was.
that's a sight to be seen. I can tell you that much. It's still recording. Yes, good. When I heard that temple had actually burnt down, and it wasn't the actual temple, and it had just been rebuilt, I was like...
But isn't that the same with
Yeah.
every fucking modern artifact? Like, everything burns down.
Yeah.
Thing. I found a lot of things had burnt down and been rebuilt.
Yeah.
But that's the nature of that they're really old. But
Absolutely.
also, if this building, like if our apartment burnt down to some degree and we rebuilt it, would you go, no, it's not the original? Like, it's just been fixed.
Yeah, no. I would, but I know what you're saying, but I felt like you told me that the place had burnt down.
Because I read it.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but I felt like that information wasn't readily available. So
I do
when I
agree.
was there, I'm like, oh, this is legit. And then you're like, oh, it burnt down at some stage and they rebuilt it. And I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. Because it happens. Like, fuck,
Yeah.
it happens everywhere around the globe. But I feel like that information is readily available.
But that was on a sign. That's how I read it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Like, I didn't actually research it beforehand.
Yeah.
But I do think that with their kind of temples and stuff, I do think there's a lack of information for English speakers or, tourists, because I didn't even know what 90% of the stuff we saw was about. I'm like, that's a pretty temple or shrine or something, but
Or
I had
thing.
no idea why it was built or what it was about, because most of the stuff we didn't, you don't get ready.
The information isn't
Yeah, it's not
readily
readily
available
there.
in English, which is hard, but...
You know what I did really enjoy, or what I thought was pretty cool, was how when we're walking around all these kind of places, how the school kids are encouraged to come up to...
man.
Yeah.
And
that's a really good point.
yeah,
I forgot about
kind
that.
of seek out, I guess, foreigners and ask them where they're from,
Yeah.
ask them...
They were so cute.
Yeah, like, why do you like Japan? Or, like, do you like
what's your
Japan?
favorite thing about
What's your
Japan?
favorite thing
Yeah.
about Japan? And they were just but like, these kids were like, what, 6,
Yeah, they were
7?
small,
And they
yeah.
could speak
They were
English.
primary school children.
Yeah, and they were...
Practicing their English, yeah.
yeah, really enthusiastic.
Actually, you know
and,
what? Now that you're mentioning it, I wish I had said to them, your English is very good.
It was pretty good.
I wish I'd encouraged them more.
Considering how young they were, and if they continue it, then... Like,
Yeah.
they'll be bilingual, no problem.
Oh,
Like,
mate.
but, you know,
Those kids
like-
are already fucking bilingual.
Yeah, true.
They're fucking
Yeah.
better than me. I struggled in Japan. And these guys are like, where in the world do you live? And they're showing me a map. And I'm like, oh, Australia. And they're like, right here. And I'm like, fuck, these kids are on it.
Yeah.
What is
Some of
your
them were.
favorite food in Japan? What is X? What is Y? I'm like, these kids are on it.
Yeah.
They're
Some of them
doing
are
so
really good.
well.
Yeah.
No, I really like that. I think it's great that the schools are encouraging children to become bilingual and not just trying to teach them the language, but actually getting them out
and practicing
being like, if you see someone who looks like they speak English, go and talk to them. And and it wasn't in a creepy, weird way. There was always someone who looked to be an adult very close by, keeping an eye on them. I loved that.
Yeah, they had like a workbook and they had to fill it out.
It was
it was
legit.
task.
It was a school task.
Yeah, it was legit. It wasn't like random kids come out. It was like
it wasn't
proper
weird or creepy.
Hey, mister.
It wasn't even weird and creepy in a way where they're like trying to learn English in school, but then they're just let off on their own. Like there was always someone nearby watching them. I thought that was great. That was fantastic. So I wish I learned Japanese and fucking...
Yeah. So overall, what was your impression of Kyoto? Because it's a little kind of quiet, little kind of city.
Yeah.
I thought it was very pretty.
Yeah.
It was very pretty.
I think it'd be a nice place to live, potentially, compared to like the bigger cities.
Yeah. If you wanted to get away from the crazy.
Yeah. Which is Osaka.
I loved Osaka.
Osaka was a crazy place. That was like a casino.
I mean, if
we were staying in a fucking nice place.
You're gonna ask if I wanted to live anywhere in Japan, Osaka would.
Really?
Really?
I would have gone Tokyo.
Nah, that wouldn't. Osaka wouldn't be mine.
Because that's just based on the house that you lived in.
No, I actually really.
I like how we go into the house and Simon's like, "See, this is the. I would really like this kind of place." I'm like, "Dude, this place in Melbourne would be worth like $2.5 million.
He's like, I love a place like this. And we're like, yeah,
who the fuck wouldn't?
Nobody can afford this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I really like the Osaka nightlife and the feel, even like the shopping and No.
And the dude dancing at Time Zone or whatever the fuck they call it.
No,
See, I thought Osaka is a cool place to visit, and I loved the aquarium. I thought the aquarium was awesome.
The aquarium was awesome.
The aquarium was definitely worth checking out.
That was sick.
I don't think I'd be able to live there because I think it'd just give me a migraine. It'd be like walking through Crown Casino.
Yeah, the city is certainly fucking like that. I can tell you that much. But I also imagine there would be some nice suburbs.
What are you doing, buddy?
There would be some nice suburbs in Osaka that...
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I love this kid. He's fucking hilarious.
Someone's going to love him.
No.
I love you!
I absolutely loved Osaka. You know something that I really loved about Osaka? The fucking Italian fucking vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
You know what? I actually really didn't like that meal.
Really?
That was the low meal of the whole trip.
Greasy as fuck.
For me, that was the worst fucking meal.
What was the food called? It was a fried...
what was it called? There's a special name for it. It's like deep fried stuff on a stick.
Yeah. What do you want?
Moscato, please. Thanks.
Yeah, you look like you drink Moscato.
She does, so...
I don't know what that means.
I always drink Moscato.
Yeah, hey, I don't even know what Moscato is, so...
Do you like sweet drinks?
Nah.
Man, you wouldn't like me.
3 weeks later, I love fucking Moscato.
Fucking love... Thanks, Hailey. I love Moscato now.
Love it.
Alright. What's next on the agenda?
What was your favourite city?
You're not looking at messages from people.
That's
I'm looking at Touch ID or Enter Passcode. That's not my...
my favourite city or place would be Tokyo. Yeah, I really like Tokyo. I know we stayed in red light district for the last 4 days.
We did. We actually stayed in the red light district in most of our stays in Japan.
But what I kind of realised after heading out a bit and, you know, all the different places Ayami took us and blah, 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 whatever, was that Tokyo is so fucking big that each place in Tokyo has a different feel.
Yeah.
Kind of like how we've got like sort of Brunswick, Fitzroy, Collingwood, then South Melbourne, then you've got like Port. It's all the one city because it's so big, but it's got different feels. So I would say I couldn't tell you exactly where in Tokyo, but yeah, I really like Tokyo.
Tokyo.
I love busy, crazy. I wouldn't say it's crazy. Red Light District was crazy because it's fucking lights.
It's madness.
Yeah, but I do like built up, like just you can get anything. I don't know. I really like that.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
liked Tokyo. I thought it was great.
I don't know. I reckon I actually probably preferred Hiroshima because it wasn't so...
I did like Hiroshima. Hiroshima was cool.
Like, it was a bit more chill.
Yeah. And they had trams.
Had trams.
Yeah.
I liked that little island we went to.
Yeah.
I
That
just
was
think Tokyo for me, it's not like I like busy areas and crazy areas, but I just found it was the same of... It was kind of like more of the same stuff.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I just want to get away from it. And I kind of liked the fact that there's rivers in Hiroshima.
Yeah.
That you can
I
kind of
feel
chill the
like
fuck out near.
Actually, something that I feel like Hiroshima had that none of the other cities had was a really beautiful, peaceful vibe.
I agree.
Did, yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that actually...
100%.
I think that actually comes from the fact that... Yeah, they were bombed.
Yeah.
And I feel like from that, they've gone, all right, this is a really fucking bad situation. And it destroyed us. And now we're going to try and...
Create a peaceful place. Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like that really fucking comes across. Like, it just feels peaceful.
I
Even
personally
in the
found it
city
more
where
comfortable to live,
Yeah.
to be in. I found it more comfortable. Whereas
Even
I
in,
found...
like, the hustle bustle,
Yeah.
it just felt
Yeah.
peaceful.
Whereas I found Tokyo in some areas, I was literally just like almost the social anxiety person in me was just like, get the fuck out. Like, it was like you'd walk down the street and people would be hassling you and you're just like, I found it too much. Tokyo for me was too much. Like, it's a cool place. And I've been there a couple of times now, but, it wouldn't be my main place to live. If I had to pick one of the cities, I reckon Hiroshima would
And
be
what
like
about you,
the
Darren?
easiest place to live in.
Tokyo or Osaka. Either one of those bigger cities. I liked them.
I like Osaka, but I'd like to live on the outskirts.
We didn't
Like,
see the
not-
outskirts though.
Well, where we were living, we were sort of on the quiet edges of the...
We were just outside
city?
of the...
Yeah,
the
like, we were
bright lights.
walking distance away, but
Yeah.
it was still... Like, there weren't super massive bright lights and fucking...
But that's also like saying that you're living in Carlton. Like, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like...
But that's what I liked about Osaka. Like, I liked the city vibe that they had. I don't want to leave right smack bang in
I
there.
like the castle we went to. That was pretty cool.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I live in a castle. You know.
Hey, so this is the kind of place that I would like. You know, it's a fucking castle.
So you and Simon moving there?
Yep, we're gonna move there to Osaka Castle.
Are you gonna...
Once we get rid of all the museum-y type
Yeah,
shit.
keep
The
that
tourists, the
Yeah,
fucking...
my house.
Are you gonna try and restore the Osaka castle?
Nah.
No, you're
Vintage.
Just gonna, wait.
What?
Yeah. So you're going to take Osaka Castle
Yeah.
as it is
Yes.
on the inside
Yes.
and not restore it, but leave it vintage.
You were in there,
put a
right?
bed or something on one of
It's
the
There's
not-
levels.
like floorboards and there's like pictures and shit. It's fine.
All right.
So what would be your top travel tips for people wanting to go to Japan?
Go with a friend who knows Japanese.
Fair enough. It's not.
Oh,
Honestly,
Bobby.
it's not
What's
a
up,
bad
Bobby?
point. It's not a bad point.
I would say, no, I know that to a degree I did this, but like I would say pack light because you're going to do a lot of fucking walking. And train stations, you're going to be going up and down stairs a lot.
Oh yeah,
And
that's true.
I saw all of you guys struggle with
Hey, I didn't
suitcases.
struggle one time.
Can I just say...
One time.
I had carry-on only, and even I would carry half of what I brought. I would say that traveling light would be a good idea.
If you think you're
can.
traveling light, cut it down by a quarter. And can I just say a very public thank you to Darren for helping me with my fucking suitcase.
And
throughout the
Simon,
whole
Simon
fucking-
carried your bag.
Oh, he did.
Simon was the
He did.
perfect
And
gentleman.
actually, no, I will say, the funny
What
thing
do we call him all throughout that trip? Gentle Simon.
The funny thing
gentle
about Simon was
He
he
thought he
would
was the
help
one.
me, and I'm the type of person, he's like, do you need help? I'm like, no, I'm coping, like, I can do it.
You're a strong,
And
independent woman, Hailey.
And then he'd be like, all right, she's all right, so don't ask
I don't
her.
need no man.
Yeah. And well, it wasn't like that. I was just like, no, I feel strong enough to do it at this particular moment. And then when I was really struggling, he wouldn't ask me, and I was like, I'm really fucking struggling. But he assumed that I was okay because in the past I'd said I was okay. So it's not his fault. He was very helpful.
That's what happens when you are dealing with the wall.
I know.
The
wall. The wall.
No one called you the wall.
No one called him the
Honestly,
wall.
like,
He just wanted to be called the wall.
Jamie is dead on about this. If you think you are packing light, you're not. All right.
Bring a
you're
muscle, Simon.
Yeah, you're fucking lying to yourself. Cut it down by a quarter, and even that is probably too much.
I think like one of the main reasons too is because you're gonna go up and down a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
There's not necessarily there's escalators and lifts, but especially during busy periods, you're going to be waiting a long time if you want to use those. So sometimes we're like, fuck it, stairs. And I think the lighter you pack, the better. It depends if you go in summer or winter, obviously. It depends what you're packing.
But that's pretty much the
gist of traveling in general.
Yeah, I would say always pack as light as you can. Yeah, definitely.
But what did you guys think about crowds in Japan? Like Tokyo and stuff, because
I don't want to talk about this because I have rage about
because
this.
people are well known. Like in Japan, people know Japan as being like the area where they push all heaps of people onto trains and it's really chock-a-block.
Actually, we never experienced that.
I found peak hour in Japan to be fucking amazing compared to Melbourne peak hour.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I found peak hour in Japan fine, no issue. Like, it was busy, but it just flowed. I don't know, the train lines are fine. I think, I didn't have any issues at all, personally.
I don't have an issue in peak hour in general, but I do think there was a lot of people around and it was
very
hectic.
difficult.
The big train stations, though, are really complicated because they've got different exits and some of them are, like, split across roads. Like, especially, like, what is it?
It was Tokyo train station.
Yeah.
The first one?
Shinjuku.
Yes.
Shinjuku is like huge.
Oh, Shinjuku was a pretty big station, yeah.
That shit will do your head in if you don't know what you're doing there.
Especially because they have a subway as well as like fucking layers.
You can get lost. Like, if you're there, if you are traveling, if you're staying in Shinjuku and you're like last stop before you walk to your fucking apartment or hotel or house or whatever, is Shinjuku, take your fucking time and know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You need to know what exit you need to get out of, because if you go out the wrong exit,
You're fucked.
you're fucked.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty intense. But I did find that, like, the crowds, and this is what probably angers Hailey, is that a lot of people, we've noticed
exactly
in Japan, a lot of people like to take
They
their
dawdle.
time.
Yeah,
they
I'm
dawdle.
actually getting angry just
dawdle.
hearing about
Like,
it.
we would seriously, we're walking down the street and we're trying to, like, walk through and get shit done, and people are just like, dur, 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 dur.
It really,
and we're like, Brown's
it
cows,
actually,
move out of the way.
I'm funny about that because I can't stand dawdlers. Like, I can't stand...
And it was a city of dawdlers.
I can't stand getting stuck behind a line of people who are walking slower than I am. Like, I actually, like, it makes me really...
Yeah, and
it
was
really
getting bad.
gets me going.
But here, we got a fucking city of people that are glued
mate,
to
I'll
their
fucking
screen, and they're just fucking looking at. And I'm like, you know what? If you walk into traffic and you run over, it's just the, what do you call it?
Natural selection.
Natural selection.
I would prefer someone on their phone walking fast and getting out of my way.
People don't walk fast in Melbourne.
Yes,
Well,
I
I walk through the city every day at rush hour, and it's the shittest thing.
Push those cunts out the
But
way,
the difference
Darren.
is that in Tokyo, it wasn't even rush hour. People were just like...
I think
dawdling.
Tokyo as a whole is a lot more efficient and...
I
like,
feel like when it comes
faster?
to moving people around, yes, but people moving around, no.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
No,
I-
I don't think I agree with that.
I think it all comes down to your natural tolerance of like.
Yeah,
I think there's more people.
it's going
absolutely.
to come down to how quickly you move, essentially. If
Yeah.
you move quicker than what the rest of Tokyo decides to move at, it's going to frustrate you, and if you don't, you're not going to be bothered by it. But I'm one of those people who's like fucking
stick to one side so we can.
I'm
overtake
basically walking at a run pace.
Yeah.
And anyone else going slower,
Yeah. Can I bring up
Freaks me
one
out.
thing? So many people say that Japan is ahead of the times with technology. What do we guys think of the technology in Japan?
I love the technology in Japan because I feel like it's very functional in a modern sense. Like it works. It's easy to work and it's functional. But it all looks so old and dated.
See,
and I love it.
I just found that everything seemed technologically advanced for 20 years ago.
Yes.
Like a lot of
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Joel said that.
We were talking about that as well. Like, you know, they have like fancy toilets and you can use the spray and the this and the that.
Yeah. And it's warm
Yeah.
and it's lovely. And you can buy your train ticket really easily, just a couple of pushes of the button. Like, it's all technologically advanced, but it looks visually old.
But I think also the way that our society is going ahead with like cardless cash and stuff like that, they hadn't even touched on. Everything is cash. They had like train conductors where people were just standing there, you know, calling out the train station names. And we're like, that's been like,
but also
that's
I like that.
That's
though.
not necessarily a bad thing. I think Australian culture, especially the area that we work in, is dominated by the whole concept of automation and redundancies. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to eliminate those.
I'm not saying that it's a good thing that that we've eliminated them, but I'm saying that when you look at efficiency and technological advancement, they haven't done much in like 20 years.
But it doesn't mean that they can't do much or that they're just holding on to.
I'm not arguing that they can't do much.
Like,
I'm just saying that you have to pay in 1 cent coins. Like, it's fucking.
You know what? They it looks like they would have been super advanced in like the late 90s.
Correct.
And then
they
it's kind of
stopped. And then they stopped. Yeah.
You know what was cool?
Yeah.
How all the taxis there were like, I don't know, they were Toyota Crowns, I think they were.
They were all exactly the
Yeah, they were like cars that still looked fucking square.
Yeah.
But they were all,
like
there was
from the
no
70s.
dents,
Yeah.
they were polished.
They're polished as shit.
They were
shiny as hell.
like what that car would have been like brand new like 20 years ago.
in the 70s.
And
And
you hopped in and you were like, holy shit, this car's immaculate.
Yeah.
And it was an old car.
Yeah.
But
it-
that's what I'm saying about their technology. It's like they advanced to a certain point and they went, nah, we stop here. We maintain what we have. We wait. And then we fucking blow the rest of the fucking world out of the water.
If I think of Japanese products, I think like quality.
Yeah.
I think like someone has really put fucking like their everything into this. And the same with, I noticed that with their the way they treat any job they do, whether you're a taxi driver,
Oh my God, they're
train
so proud,
conductor,
aren't they? It's amazing.
or you work at a restaurant, well, like whatever. Everyone takes like a lot of pride in their work,
Yeah.
and so everything just everything was like on another level. I think, and that's why we were talking about how their streets are clean, their cars are immaculate,
They've
like
got a lot of respect.
yeah,
I agree.
the train
Love that
system
about
fucking
Japan.
works. The place that I learned the most about Japanese history, I would say, would be the Samurai Museum. The Samurai Museum in Red Light District. What's it called? Anyway.
It was in Shinjuku, wasn't it?
No, it was it was like right near our accommodation in the last 4
But that was
months.
technically in Shinjuku.
Oh, yeah, Shinjuku. Yeah. If you go to that Samurai Museum, that was really good. They were like really knowledgeable, and we learned a lot about how Japan ended up the way it is today.
Cool.
Purely just from that one museum. Yeah. It looks like a tourist trap out the front.
Yeah.
There's like it looks like a samurai thing made out of a red bucket at the front. And I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but like when you go in there and like within the first few minutes we're like, oh, I don't know about this place. And then the guy started telling us and we're like, holy shit, this is, yeah. I would highly recommend if you can make it to the Samurai Museum. Yeah. That would be one of my highlights.
Disappointed we didn't go.
Yeah, it was really
Can we
good.
end this on one note? Robot restaurant.
No.
No.
Fuck off. See ya. Love you guys.
Overrated. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
It was
Tourist
That
trap.
shit
It was
is
the
gonna
big, the
cost
biggest.
you.
Like,
Careful. Oh.
See, Moscato ruins everything.
Fuck off, Jamie.
yeah, Robot Bar is it's fun. It's a good place. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You
but
have to be
it's-
really drunk
it's
to go there.
Super shallow, I guess. It's
If you live in Australia and you've been to Witches and Britches or Dracula's, it's the Japanese
or
version
seen
of
a
that.
Michael Bay movie. It's the equivalent of a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, it was essentially would you say it's sort of like a float? It's sort of like a parade of floats just going
Yeah.
in
Like,
front
it's
of you.
super
Yeah.
entertaining. It's really fun whilst
Because
you're
it's
there.
like an
but
assault
it's
to the senses. It's like you
Don't
need,
look at me.
yeah. And can I also say there's no
not saying-
robots in there?
There's not.
Well, there are robots. They're
Hailey's
just
just
not
having an
autonomous.
aneurysm. Robots?
There's people dressed up as robots walking around. There's no actual
Alright.
robots.
And then the dude's controlling the fucking robot.
Yeah,
Here's
it's
what
pretty-
I'll say about Robot Restaurant. That Alright, that piece of shit will cost you like probably about 110 to potentially 120 Australian dollars, depending on the fucking exchange rate. When you go in there, you'll be sucked in by all the fucking idiot celebrity photos on the wall, and then you'll get in there and it's just like fucking
lights
light
assaulting you.
epilepsy lights with people.
Mind you, it was only
smashing
like
on-
$60.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
It was 80, like,
No, 60.
no, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
it was.
It was
was.
8,000.
6,000.
It was about 6,000.
It was
It's about
6,000.
Are you sure?
60
Yeah.
bucks each.
It was-
I don't think it
yeah,
was.
No, it was. It was 6,000.
It was expensive. Either
Well,
way.
It's expensive
It
as
was
it
way
is,
more expensive.
but it wasn't
than-
$120. I'm just putting it. It's
Yeah,
like more like $70.
I think the thing is, if you think that you go to a robot restaurant to get a cultural experience, then
No,
You're not
it's
gonna
pretty
get it.
shit.
it's not.
You're better off walking around Shinjuku at night if you want that, like, red light district vibe.
Yeah. And
'Cause
also,
it's the safest red light district in the world.
you get like one free drink, and it's like $1.50 drink from 7-Eleven. Like it's not. It's a thing.
I wouldn't go there ever again. I regret it.
No, but you
No,
wouldn't go there
I
ever again.
don't.
But would you go there once? Maybe, but it's not by far not the best thing about Japan
No.
slash
No,
Tokyo
no.
or a thing.
Don't stress about it if you don't go.
Yeah.
The only reason why I bring it up is because I find that whenever someone finds out that you go to Tokyo, they're like, "Have you been to Robot Bar?"
Yeah.
And last time we were like, "No, we haven't been." They're like, "Shame, I heard it's really good." So this time we're like, "We'll go."
It was okay. I give it 4 out of 6, 2 out of 3.
Out of 6?
Out of 6?
Is that how you rate things?
What I rate things have what on
4
what
out of 6, that's
scale
like
is
2
required.
out of 3. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's pretty. I wouldn't give it. I'd give it
You
a
know, no.
4
The
out of
thing is,
10.
for what it was entertaining.
I'd give it 6 out of 10.
Was it something
Really?
that was
60%. Yeah.
Nah, I'd give it 50% at max.
But it was visually and orally
Interesting.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun, but it's not like a fucking, you have to do it.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
You're
Just
like,
look at
"Ugh."
photos online.
Yeah.
Okay, you're turning off the cameras now so we can drink wine. Sure.
No, we gotta be like, so.
Like, click and subscribe.
No, that's not how it works. You gotta say, what do they say? There's a line. There's like
I don't know. What's what line?
the line. So, I don't want to say it.
You can do it, Jamie.
Oh, I can't. I don't know.
I don't know what you're doing, but I'm sure you can do it.
If you like this video, check out other videos and like click like if you subscribe. There's gonna be a link in the description for all the things.
The link will be right here.
Yeah.
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 It's gonna be
Yeah,
here.
in the description. Yes, click subscribe and see you next week.
Link
Videos every Thursday.
Link cry and subside.
Wait. We don't upload videos on this.
New videos
Every
Sometime.
Wednesday.
Thursday, Friday,
Monday,
Friday afternoon, and Saturday dusk.
Check out our friends over at
Just
Beauty
that.
Dudes. They're a real hoot.
Check out our other videos at Duty Broods.
I pity myself for editing this shit.
You just spelled.
All right, guys, that is too much
Duty
for one
Broods.
night. Duty Broods out.